Speak No Evil from 2022. We're talking about the original version, not the Blumhouse remake theme song.
Calhoun's Reviews! Calhoun's Reviews!
Blumhouse remaking Speak No Evil. I thought I would watch the original. If you want to see it, check the link in the description. So if you've seen the commercials for the remake, then you know what this is about. I will say the original, it's, Scandinavian, although 90% plus is in English, nearly everything's in English. So don't let that stop you from watching it. There is a lot that apparently deals with Scandinavian culture that may be kind of lost on me as an American. So if you haven't seen the commercial, what's it about? Well, we have a couple, and in this version, they're Danish, and they have a daughter, they're on vacation, and they're befriended by a Dutch couple with a son.
Hi, this is my husband, Bjørn.
Patrick, nice to meet you.
Hi, Bjørn.
Hi.
The Dutch couple invites the Danish people to come visit them. They do, even though they're like, I don't really know these people.
Det er måske lidt lang tid, der er også nogen, man ikke rigtig kender.
And sort of unnerving things happen. And by unnerving, I mean things that very slowly you're like, what's going on? Is this an accidental misunderstanding, or is something else going on? So it's all about pushing boundaries. And I tell you, I was super uncomfortable the whole time as the Dutch couple kept doing things. So for one point, they make out like sort of a lot in front of in this bar they go to with the Danish couple, and then the man, drives drunk and with a really loud music, and it's like, what are the Danish couple gonna do?
Patrick, can you turn down the music a bit?
And it seems pretty innocuous, but it's like, and so that's kind of the point. And I will say a couple of things also are in the commercial for the remake. So making a vegetarian try some meat.
This is for you.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I insist.
And then disciplining a child when the child isn't dancing all that well, or disciplining their child. One of the things that really heightens the tension is kind of a double-edged sword, because it also kind of undercuts things, I think. The music in the film is consistently creepy. So from the beginning, when they're just driving along and nothing bad happens, there's creepy music going. So you're like, oh, what's going on? And it really sets the tone, but because it has set the tone basically from the very first scene, the more and more you hear it, I think maybe it kind of loses its effectiveness. It's like, we know shit's going to go bad. So it really is a case of, when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? I really did like the first 3/4 of the film or so because of that. And because of the little things that the Dutch couple was doing, it made me sort of ask, what would I do in that situation? But then gets to a point where the Danish couple are so passive and so refuse to stand up for themselves, it made me hard to like it. A lot of the reviews of the time called it a satire. And as I kind of said in the beginning, if you're from Scandinavia, the reviews I've read say that you kind of make it, it's clear that it's about politeness. I don't really see it as a satire. Maybe the ending, because it is sort of over the top. Maybe I'm just dumb and I don't understand satire. I don't like to do spoilers, but I am going to talk a little bit about one character. It's only in 2 scenes, and I'm not really sure how to interpret this character. So, spoilers ahoy, but ahead. Okay. At one point, there's a character called Mujid, who's a man. He seems to be of Middle Eastern descent.
Ik ga het toch niet doen. Ik ben Mohamed.
I'm Louise.
Mujid spreekt helemaal geen Engels. He doesn't speak any English.
Oh, and who is Mujid?
He's the babysitter.
Then, at the end, when the Dutch couple are going all the strangers on them, Muajid shows up. They're in the car. They stop. He's kind of get there. They give the blonde daughter to him, and he goes off into the fog. So a guy will be asking, why does this character exist? On one level, it's almost like he just shows up so that they have an easy way to get the daughter out of the picture, so they don't have to like explain what the parents are doing, what she's doing when the parents are, spoilers if you haven't got as far, their parents get stoned to death. And it's just a way to get the daughter out of the way. But here, give them to some other dude. So that kind of seems like lazy writing. But there's also the question of, why is he Middle Eastern? There's no other, obviously, non-Europeans in the film. I know there's been a lot of immigration from the Middle East to Scandinavia, and I can't help but look at this image of him, a Middle Eastern man, taking this blonde girl. It's maybe some kind of racist dog whistle. You combine this with the fact that the Dutch couple stone the Danish couple to death, and, you know, that kind of happens still in parts of the Middle East, makes me really curious about this. So if you have any ideas, any comments, any thoughts, let me know. One more spoiler. It's not really related to that. I mentioned The Strangers, and I think the comparison to that is really apt, because at the end of The Strangers, one of the victims say, "Why did you do it?" And the woman in the doll, I think maybe it's doll face, says, "Because you were home." In the end of Speak No Evil, the Danish couple asks, "Why did you do it?" And the Dutch couple says, "Because you let us."
Why are you doing this? Because you let me.
So that similarity there is really striking. I don't think it's on purpose. And it's a very different meaning, because I really didn't like The Strangers. I didn't like just the, oh, it's random and people and they're moving on. This, there's definitely a reason for it. It's commentary. I just thought it was interesting. Okay, spoilers over. So I'm torn on Speak No Evil. I like the first 3 quarters, but I'm really unsure about the last bit. So rating this was kind of hard. I'm giving Speak No Evil 2 thumbs up. It pushes buttons. I'm just not sure what it means. Tell me in comments.